On this week's Florida's Fourth Estate, a 7-year-old's surf session gets crazy. He gets knocked off of the surfboard by a shark, and feral Florida pigs decimate a man's yard, and there's nothing he can do about it.
And look at this guy's
Look at
property.
his yard. That was all grass before.
It looks like someone tilled it.
Also, a mega mansion with a koi pond, indoor pool, everything except the frozen food section.
It's like half of a super Walmart, so it's 40,000 square feet.
Only half?
This week's guest, fitness expert Missi Mitchell. Why science says strong muscles are the key to a long life.
People really need to focus on strengthening. I mean, every year you age, you're losing it.
Hi there, and welcome to another wonderful edition of Florida's Fourth Estate. We're so glad you could join us for a very educational version of the show today. My name's Matt Austin.
And I'm Ginger Gaston. You make it seem like it's not educational every week.
Oh, we definitely don't get into the education a lot. It's more entertainment, informational.
Yeah, but this week is super exciting. We are going to talk about, of course, our crazy Florida stories, but we're also going to talk about, it's the time of year where, you know, we just had Halloween and Thanksgiving, so people have given up on diets, and they're thinking, okay, I'll start new next year. That means they're just in eating season right now.
Giving up on diets, giving up on life.
Yes,
all of it
yes.
right now.
Okay, so Missi Mitchell is joining us here, and we're going to tell you a lot about her and what she brings to the table, literally and figuratively, about how we should be eating, what we should be doing, and the thing that I love the most, you know, we all talk about cardiovascular strength and health. She's going to talk about how weight training is also important. Missi, I'm so happy that you're here. We've been talking about this for a while now.
Yes.
So you're going to really school us on some things and help us live. No pressure, but you're going to help us all have a better life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of pressure.
I'm looking forward to
Hope.
it. Yeah,
I like
you
it.
will. No, trust me.
If you've ever looked at Ginger and thought, wow, look at those shoulders, you can thank Missy.
No one has ever thought that.
Probably.
Just FYI.
I mean, traps and
Just FYI.
shoulders.
Okay,
It's all
you're
good.
projecting, Matt.
So,
You're projecting.
I am. So we start out every week with some crazy Florida stories, some interesting stuff. And this week we had a boy who was out surfing. He's GoProing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this young man here. Look at him. He's got, talk about traps and shoulders.
Look
He's
at
going.
him. He's 7.
All right, he's going. He's feeling good. The GoPro's
Yeah.
on. And then all of the sudden, look at him look at something. Look at the terror on his face. You see that tail? He gets knocked off of the surfboard by a shark. Look at his
Are you
face.
sure that's a shark? Look at that. Yeah. He saw it and
He
just
saw
like,
it coming.
can I out? That's that moment where, look at it. Look at that.
Wow.
It slaps him. Like that shark's like, hey son, this is my wave. Get off.
Or for, that shark is like, get out of here. You're bony. I need some. Where's your meaty family?
Yeah, I'm going to go gnaw on this surfboard for a little while because you got no meat on your bones, bud.
That's incredible, though. But we have to remind people that sharks live in the water. So we're surfing in their home. That's like someone
Yeah.
coming into our house and like, what are you doing here? So, you know, but I'm glad he's okay.
He is, and I just have to say something. What's funny is that story is my friend Sean.
What?
It's his son, I promise you.
You stop it.
I'm not. So I saw him post it on Facebook before it ever started even going viral. I promise you.
I am stunned right
I
now.
know.
Get
So his name-
out.
yeah, and he put the GoPro on, and his son is super brave and like not afraid of the water and ready to go, and they're great people.
I'm
But
curious
Isn't
if
that
you're.
so funny?
Are you going to know every one of our stories? Are you going to have a personal link? Are you Kevin Bacon?
We're at
my
2 degrees of
goodness.
separation.
That is crazy.
right
We
now.
didn't talk about this
No, we
story
didn't.
before.
So it
No.
was crazy. When you said shark story, I was like, I wonder if it's the
And
Different sharks.
it is. What a coinky dink.
yeah.
Oh
but
my
what
gosh.
a great. I mean, how to catch that though? Is
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
The
wild.
fact that he had the GoPro on.
Because, you know, people can say anything. It's like, oh, yeah, this happened to me. It's like, really?
Yeah, sure.
Did it?
You got
Sure.
knocked off
It was
by a
some
shark.
kind of fish. It was
Yeah.
like, you know, a guppy or
And
whatever.
if you see it in fast motion, you can't really see it. But when you slow it down, I mean, it really does
Yeah.
slap them off.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Wild.
We're going to have to talk about that a little bit later on because maybe we might want to talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe he'll be
definitely.
sitting in your
They're
chair.
a great family.
Awesome.
No, that's fantastic. Okay, so we were talking about how that kid was skinny because he's surfing and he's like, you know, got all muscle and everything. We're talking about something that's not so skinny, not at all. Have you ever had an encounter with a wild boar? Anyone? I know the answer is no because you're here.
Yeah.
Because if you ever encounter these things, they are ugly, nasty, and vicious. There's this guy in Osceola County. Here's some video. Look at these things. He says the biggest one probably weighs about 400 to 500 pounds.
I see the big one he's talking about. Look at
Yeah.
that thing in the background there.
Wow.
And look how
It
many of them there are.
Every night, and they dig up his yard, and that's nighttime. That's his like Ring doorbell or surveillance camera or whatever. And he says every single night. And what he's afraid of is that's our reporter Nadine Yanis. And look at this guy's
Look at his
property.
yard. That was all grass before.
It looks like someone tilled it.
Wow.
Yeah.
To plant something. And
Have you seen that spotted one that comes in this video?
yeah, is it the white one?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
like white.
yes.
It looks like a Dalmatian jumped in the video all of a sudden. It's like it's a Dalmatian running with a pack of
It is
boars.
incredible. So they're considered nuisance animals. So the only way you can really get rid of them is to kill them. He doesn't want to do that. He's like a Marine. So, and he knows how to handle a gun. He really doesn't want to
But
get
it's a
into that.
neighborhood.
It's a neighborhood. And he
Yeah.
says some of the tracks go right to a school bus stop. And these things are out at the time. The kids are going, and it's kind of dark at that hour when they're getting ready to get on the school bus. That is crazy. And I know they're dangerous. There was a woman in Texas, I think, just a week ago, who was killed by a pack of feral hogs.
Yeah.
And, okay, little trivia question. Do you know what you call a pack of hogs, feral hogs?
It's not a crash because that's a rhino. Any ideas?
No idea.
I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, you call it a sounder.
A sounder.
I wasn't
Sounder.
nowhere
I
near
know.
that.
I was like,
Sounder.
oh, that's really interesting. So they're trying to figure out. We're trying to see if his homeowners association. They're saying it's like it'll be $3,000 to trap these things. And I'm like, as a regular person, you don't have
Yeah.
that kind of money just sitting
can't
around.
drop that kind of
And it's a
cash.
problem for the entire neighborhood. So everyone should pitch in. So we're trying to see if his homeowners association will take care
I've heard
of
of
it.
bears, but hogs?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, and they breed like crazy. Those
Holy cow.
mamas or
Yes,
sows,
yes.
they carry a bunch of little piglets. They get pregnant every
goodness.
year. and
bunnies.
then next thing you know, yeah, they are.
yeah,
They're like
that's-
rabbits.
It's crazy.
They're like big.
So
fat
just hope you
rabbits.
never encounter that, or if he has a little dog he would let out in the middle of the night, that thing's gone. It's like a snack for those things.
They'll eat anything.
I know,
400
but
pounds.
I know. I don't even know how you trap that. I really don't. All right, so another story we want to talk about. We all live in average size homes, I think. A couple of
Yeah.
thousand square feet, 1,900 square feet at that, 2,000, 4,000.
About the average
Yeah,
is
about the
2,000.
average. All right, so there's a house in Winter Park. They hope to build it. They're calling it the new mega mansion. It's 20 times bigger than the average home, and it's coming to Winter Park, or it could be anyway. So a philanthropist wants to build it. It is the size. It's like half of a super Walmart, so it's 40,000 square feet.
Only half?
Oh my goodness.
Well, Versailles is the size of a super Walmart.
90,000
Yeah,
square
so
feet.
but
Yeah.
so this is a modest home compared to that.
Oh, okay.
And Versailles, for people who don't know, it's Jackie Siegel, developer. That's
Out in
their house.
Windermere.
Yeah, they've been building that. For more than a decade now, and I think 2022 or 2024.
Oh, yeah, sure. It'll be done then. Yeah.
This thing is 40,000 square feet. It still needs approval from the when a zoning board has to approve your home, that's probably a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to have a koi pond, a basketball court that's inside, a large circular driveway, an indoor lap pool. That sounds good. I might like that. And the koi pond, by the way, is going to be in the basement, which very few Florida homes have basements.
Basement on the lake.
Yes.
How are you going to work that one out?
Well, it seems like he has enough money to figure it out.
I would imagine so.
Because if you're going to build that kind of house, that's probably not going to be your biggest issue.
From a financial standpoint, okay, if you're building a home like this, you're spending all these millions of dollars.
Yeah.
They always build these big white elephant homes, and then one day you got to sell it.
Right.
There's like 3 people in America who can buy that home. Lots, like a 1 acre
Yeah.
lot on the lake
And
is
Oprah
$1 million.
already has her house.
Oprah ain't
so
buying
she has
your
her home.
house.
She already has her
Dr.
home.
Phil's got his
No,
place.
no.
Matt, Ginger, and Missy could buy the garage maybe.
My house will fit into
Koi pond.
that house like 10 times.
Yeah. Easy. Yeah, mine too. It's
crazy.
But yeah, but I don't understand finance. You
know.
think of people who have that kind of money as being like so great with money, so smart.
No.
But then you build this house that you're never going to be able to sell.
I thought of that before.
And
That makes
also,
sense.
to put it in perspective, I'm from a family of 15. We had a shotgun 3-bedroom house, 1 bathroom.
Wow.
One bathroom.
10 girls, ladies, 10 girls and 5 boys. So we all made it work. I don't know what we would do in this 40,000 square foot home.
You'd never see each
Like
other.
an amusement park.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right.
But hey, if you're going
Wow.
to do it in Winter Park. Cause
Do it big, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Might as well. Just the
Can't do it.
lot's about
Yeah.
$5 million. So
Yikes.
might as well go crazy on the house. It is time for our Floridiot of the Week.
And now, your Floridiot of the Week.
All right, so deputies say they have arrested a serial Lego thief this week.
What?
He's about what I pictured. Flagler County Sheriff's Office says Sean Dunlop stole more than $900 worth of Legos from a Target in Flagler County. $900.
Okay, are Legos that expensive?
They are.
They're
They don't
very-
just hurt when you step on them. They hurt when you buy them, too. He also tried to steal the popular toys from stores in Volusia County. The 30-year-old now being held on $2,500 bond. He also...
Was he smuggling it in his beard? What's happening with
I
the
don't-
money? Is that the
I'm-
Lincoln look?
I am captivated by everything that's going on his face right now. Look at the curls.
I don't know. I don't understand.
sorry.
But, I mean, I don't know. That's a lot of Legos. Like, usually we have people putting meat in their pants and running out of the store. I imagine he was probably putting some Legos in his pants.
I understand the meat. You could put some use to that. But
No, not once they've been in your pants.
Yep.
Nobody wants that.
I don't want to use Legos that have been in your pants.
The kids won't care.
You want to talk about pain? Put some Legos in your undies. How you going to walk out of
I
there?
don't know.
You
I
would die.
don't know. Yeah,
you would
probably.
die of blood loss
Oh, good
by the
Lord.
time you got out of
Anyway,
there.
Poor guy. I hope things get better for him.
Yeah. They can't get worse.
Probably. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we are here this week with Missi Mitchell. And Missy, I am so happy that you made the time because you're a busy lady. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay. So I love to help people, first of all. I have a big heart for helping people. And my family, we opened a personal training studio 13 years ago this year.
Wow.
And we focus on overall wellness.
What's it called?
Elite Strength is the key word. Elite Strength and Fitness. And we focus on overall wellness and specializing in strength training. So one of the biggest things that I've seen, though, with new clients is just people coming in overwhelmed and frustrated. They come in because they don't know what to do. They feel defeated. They are stressed, and it just makes me feel really great to be able to give back to people. And I have my own story that I can relate with them, so I feel how they feel.
Tell us a little bit about that because you're from an athletic family.
I am. And I come from being athletic and very active when I was young. I played a little bit of sports in college. I played basketball. I'm 5'3". I'm not really tall.
I would not have put that
I know. Isn't
one
that
together.
funny? That's funny. I was super fast. So I played sports, and the one thing that I learned is once you stop playing sports and then you keep eating like you played sports, it doesn't really work out that great. And my whole life just changed. Stress happens, things happen, and I lost myself in health. So I didn't really know what to do because I never had to do anything before because
Yeah.
I was always active and I love food and I didn't believe in diet. So I tried things, they'd work for a little bit and then they wouldn't work. So I'm excited just to educate people on some
Yeah.
tips that I've learned over the years that have helped me. And I've also been able to help our clients change their life and give them hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you talk, strength is in the name. So I've got daughters. I'm way unbalanced in my workout routine. All I do is strength training. I hate cardio. I'm probably going to live to about 45. But so my daughters, they just want to run and do all this sort of thing. And I'm like, no, ladies need to strength train. So I'm trying to teach them that. And there's a lot of science that backs that up, right?
A lot of science that backs it up. And here's what happens, especially around the age of 40, but it can happen sooner if you're sedentary when you're younger. So, and it accelerates into your 50s. Every year that we age, we lose muscle. And muscle is critical. One of the biggest fears that people have as they age is losing the ability to function independently. And it's fundamental to have your muscles to be able to function for your life. Because the top two reasons, and I know at a younger age you don't think like this, but the top two reasons that people end up in a nursing home, one is they lose the function of their brain, or two, they lose the function of their muscles, especially starting with their legs.
Yeah. I mean, that's everything. That's how you get around.
It's critical.
Yeah,
it's critical,
exactly.
and people don't think about it. So, like you said, a lot of people do focus on cardio, and there's nothing wrong with cardio at all. I mean, I encourage it, but people really need to focus on strengthening. I mean, every year you age, you're losing it, and so the sooner you can do it, the better.
You know, but what are you saying is particularly for women, because a lot of women say, oh, I don't want to do weights because I don't want to bulk up and I don't want to look, manly, or I don't want to get too big or whatever. I mean, you'd have to be doing some kind of special extra special routine to do that.
Right, and it's really about building lean muscle and then your body composition, so burning fat. So that's where the components, like we always look at the whole person and the overall wellness, because you can work out and strength train, but if you aren't paying attention to what you're putting in your mouth, then your body composition isn't going to change. I always say abs are made in the kitchen.
Abs are made in the kitchen. I love that.
Yeah, abs are made in the kitchen. So when people come in and they want to lose a bunch of weight, they have to be ready and they have to be mindful and know that it does take work. But as far as building lean muscle, I mean, really, that's not a concern. It's just kind of a myth, really.
Yeah.
You'd have to do like bodybuilding type
It
workouts
take tons
to
of
get
supplements.
it just would take a lot of work. So when you focus with strength training, one of the biggest things is for people to focus on safety.
Yeah.
Not all of a sudden go, okay, now I need to go strength train, so now I'm going to go out and do some crazy workout, because that's when people hurt themselves. So we focus on safety. That's our number one thing, and being able to get people results. And it's not just about strength training. I mean, ultimately, strength training, there's the Center of Disease Control has done studies, like 16-week studies, where they have shown the reduction of arthritis by 43%, even better than medication. They've also shown in the 16-week study, like glucose levels, blood sugar levels getting better with people just as much as medication, and even depression. So sometimes when people say, oh, I don't feel like doing it, or I don't want to show up, I'm like, listen, those are the days you need to show up, because you're going to walk out of here feeling so much better.
That's what I was going to mention, is because I've kind of been sporadically working out my whole life. The last few years, when I've sort of needed to manage stress and anxiety a little better, I have found when I go to the gym, if I miss for a couple of weeks, I get down in the dumps. I'm worried about stupid stuff. Every time I go to the gym, it's like after the first 20 minutes, I feel it melt off. There has to be some sort of mental component to it.
Oh, definitely. It's amino acids. I mean, they haven't targeted exactly, but a lot to do with amino acids. And you just feel better when you work out and you do it the right way, and you're getting results. It's like, that's the key, because that's where people get frustrated, is they're trying. They get motivated and they try these different exercises or different gyms or different places or different diets. And at the end of the day, diets don't work. And you have to find something that works for you.
And that, we talk about this a lot, and I love what you say, because people start wrecking themselves right around Halloween because they're eating all the candy. It's like, well, I've already eaten all the candy. Now Thanksgiving's coming.
Yeah.
And you say something that it just makes me laugh about Thanksgiving. Do you remember what it is?
I do. I love this thing. It's a meal, not a month. and that's what happens, though.
Ouch, Missy. Wow.
Sorry.
Right to the heart.
Isn't that great?
But it's a meal, not a month, and it does start at Halloween. And this is, even recently after Thanksgiving, I have clients come back and like, oh my goodness, I'm up 5 pounds. Oh, I'm up 8 pounds.
Yeah.
I said, listen, get back on track, because most of that is water weight. It's retention. Like, if you get right back on track, you're not going to gain weight. It doesn't take one piece of pie or one piece of cake to make you gain weight. It's doing it over and over and over again. And that's where people gain the weight that they have a hard time getting off. So I just encourage people to get right back on track.
I want a gif of Missy saying, it's a meal, not a month, Tubby. All right,
Tubby?
put the turkey leg away. Can you add Tubby into your saying?
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's awful.
That'd be good for me. But that's good to
awful.
know, because it's true. Like, you start to feel like this food gets some momentum.
It's a buildup.
I've already
That's
eaten
the mentality. People are like,
16
I've already
pounds of
done
cornbread.
it. Let's just.
I'm already down to a single pack.
Yeah.
So I may as well just get rid of that one.
Exactly.
So-
Just add the keg.
But it is a lifestyle. So I also do encourage people not enjoy like your grandma's favorite recipe or whatever it is that you enjoy during the holidays that might be a tradition. Enjoy that, but get right back on track, and don't do it every single meal every single
Absolutely.
day.
That's what gets you.
So can we get a little more descriptive with the meals here while we're talking about this? Everybody's going keto. I'm not allowed to eat
boy.
carbs anymore. All these other folks are saying I should eat paleo. I mean, like, what? Just give me a regular.
Okay.
How can I live my life in a way I'm not going to be a miserable wretch and still
Good
maybe
luck.
feel good?
Well, there's some great pointers on all of that, because you're right. I mean, if people come in, they're doing intermittent fasting, they're doing keto, and I'm not here to say any of these don't work for people,
Yeah.
because clearly there's people that lose a lot of weight and have great results. But you have to look at what's sustainable. What can people continue to do to get results? And not everybody's body's the same either. And it's focusing on the right food. So if I were to give any pointer, it would be truly to look at food is fuel. A lot of people have this mentality of calorie restriction or not eating a lot. And what happens with that, it actually can slow your metabolism up. like up to 30%. And you do become miserable. You become grumpy. You're hungry, and then you can't sustain it. So then once you're like frustrated, then you just go and eat everything that you weren't supposed to anyways. So the biggest thing is to focus on blood sugar control. And what would that mean? That means looking at foods that it's really how our bodies were designed to eat. So it's clean eating. It's really a lifestyle of healthy foods, lean proteins, vegetables.
Things that don't spike your level and then send you into this catatonic state, and then you eat something and now you're shot back up again, and then you go back into that state.
That's exactly. In fact, in some of the wellness seminars we do, we have a slide that shows blood sugar control. And it's, if you're down here, you're storing fat, and if you're up here, you're storing fat. So what happens is people are on this roller coaster all day, and they're storing fat, and they don't get their body into a fat burn. And that's what we focus on, is getting the body into a fat burn.
And I have to say, I'm sorry, I have to say, when I first met you, one of the first things I started incorporating into my life more, just more vegetables, more fresh, not even the fruit, but the, like, broccoli slaw has changed my life.
Yes.
She eats it every day.
I mean,
at work.
every day.
Every day.
Have you tried it?
We sit right next to each other. I have, and it's delicious.
At the lunch table.
But I try it in my ear every day. Broccoli.
Yeah. Okay. It is not that
Sorry,
crunchy.
go ahead.
But it has really made a difference, because now I wake up and I don't want, like, what, I love bacon, eggs, and all this stuff. But I honestly, sometimes I'm like, I want some, like this morning for breakfast, I had a salad.
Yeah.
I had a salad at
Yeah.
like 9:30 this morning, and that's what I wanted.
Your body does start to crave it once you start changing the blood sugar and fueling your body with the proper foods.
Yeah.
And the saying I always like to use is protein and fiber at every meal makes losing weight no big deal. So protein and fiber at every meal makes losing weight.
She's a poet as well.
and
no
she
big
knows
deal.
it.
And then you have to look at when you say fiber, that's the vegetables. That's where your
Yes.
vegetables are coming from, and it is important. Or complex carbs, things like sweet potatoes. If you're looking, I know we've had the conversation about vegetarian,
Yes.
which that's a whole other conversation. But just to point on that, if people are motivated to do that, which most people just are overwhelmed by doing that.
They don't realize how much work it is.
Yeah, and if they're motivated by doing that, then they should focus on things like quinoa, even in beans. Those things have protein and fiber in them, so people can fuel their body still and get that protein.
Yeah.
Yeah, vegan. Everybody's going vegan these days. It's a cool, hip thing to do.
There are some really yummy places out there for sure, but again, one of the things that I found when people start to become like where they're going on these trends of maybe becoming vegetarian or vegan, especially vegetarian, they start looking at more of the carbs. So they're overloading on pastas and rice and different things, and that certainly is going to spike your blood sugar and get you into a fat storage mode instead of a fat burn.
I've had friends who say when I was a vegetarian or when they were vegetarians, they gained weight, actually. Because,
Yeah, you do.
What else do you have to
eat?
eat aside from pasta and bread? And
Well, that's actually a really good point. It's not that you can't have it. So we do choose, when we say lifestyle, it's not about not having it. It's about the amount. And that's where blood sugar comes in. So
I can't eat a cup of pasta. There's no way for me to physically eat. It's like eating a cup of popcorn.
It's like a tea.
You won't eat
The
a
more
cup.
I eat it, the more I want it.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I tell people is when they're going out to eat or when they're planning their meal is to look at like what's on the menu before you go, and making sure like get more vegetables on there. So you want more pasta because you're hungry, so you want to control your blood sugar more. So if you can get more vegetables with your protein and carb, you won't feel like that if you just do that
Balance you out
consistently.
a
It
little
is. And one of the pointers I tell people is like when you are going out to eat or when you are hungry, the first thing that happens, what do they put on your table?
Bread.
Bread or chips, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things you can do is immediately say, hey, can you bring me a salad? And then eat the salad. And then when you have the bread, you're not spiking your blood sugar where you're going to be storing fats.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because what happens is people will eat bread and they're like, oh, I'm going to eat a salad for dinner. Well, it doesn't matter if you're having broccoli and salmon. After that, you're in a fat storage mode.
Already.
So, yep.
So just changing up that order makes a huge difference.
The little pointers, these are the little pointers that I've learned over the years that really helped me.
Yeah.
Because I, as an athlete, like I was like, I am not going to eat like a rabbit. Like I love food. I love trying different types of food. I love flavor. So I was really frustrated and overwhelmed. I'm like, what am I supposed to do here?
Yeah.
And so when I figured out you can eat really yummy and healthy and all kinds of foods with this. It's just the amount and how you eat it. That's key.
And we're getting into the time of year now where people are honest in full-on panic mode because they know they've messed up for Thanksgiving and they know Christmas is coming. And so now the New Year resolution is around the corner, and they will make these unrealistic goals, not make it, fail. And then it's like, okay, then the rest of the year, they're like, well, I didn't keep my resolution.
Feel worse about yourself.
Exactly. So if you could advise, people who just don't know where to start or where to begin, and if we can only do one or two things, what would you say?
Well, the first thing, and I know it seems kind of negative, but diets don't work. They really don't. And I always encourage people, because I've had people come in truly crying and just their life's just fallen apart and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I always encourage them, it's not them that's failed. It really is the diet that's failed them. Mm-hmm. And I hate to say that this time of year because I know everybody's promoting all these different diets and different things you can do, and it's that time of year to do it. But one thing I'd encourage you is really to look at how you can fuel your body properly. And don't go and try to do some kind of trendy diet or calorie restriction, because yes, you can lose it, but can you sustain it? And one of the things that I always like people to picture is the yo-yo dieting that happens is that people become fluffier and fluffier because they lose what I call just having the baseball. The baseball represents muscle, and a beach ball represents fat. So every time that you're doing these yo-yo diets, you're losing that baseball, and then every time you gain weight, you're gaining back the beach ball. So people can be the same weight. You can have two people standing next to each other that's the same weight, but their body composition is different because one has more muscle and one has more fat from doing these yo-yo diets. So one of the things is just to encourage people not to do the yo-yo dieting, but to really look at how to have a lifestyle with eating.
Yeah, it has made, and I can only speak for myself because I was focused on the numbers on the scale. And once I didn't really focus on that so much and just started thinking, okay, I'm going to eat better and I'm going to work out and stay active, right? I probably weigh about the same, but I'm getting into clothes that I had put in the back of the closet. Things fit differently. Honest to God, fat has moved around, and it's like, holy cow, where did that come from? Like, I can zip something I couldn't zip before, and it sounds crazy.
Where did the fat move to, Ginger?
It burned.
Moved around? So the fat didn't move around. You burned the fat, and now you have muscle.
It's gone.
So that's why you weigh the same.
It's body composition.
Matt, it's my body. I'll tell you.
I'm just worried, the fat's going to all move to my face. Hey, by the way, Ginger hasn't had sugar in a year. Okay.
No, not a year. It'll be a year in March. I gave it up for Lent.
Almost a year.
Almost a year. And if you had told me a year ago that I could have a life without actively eating cookies, candy, and all sorts of things, I would have called you a liar right to your face because it was my drug. I would get up in the middle of the night.
It is like a drug.
I would eat a sleeve of Oreo cookies or whatever was in there. Publix's key lime pie was my jam. I would just
A sleeve of Oreos? Really?
Yes. Oh my gosh, you don't even know. I mean, seriously. I was pretty closeted about it because if you look at me, you wouldn't be able to tell that that's what I was doing. But it was like the more I ate, the more I wanted it. And I would eat an entire key lime pie. It's like you got to get that line just right. If the line was crooked, I'm like, oh, let me slice some more to make it right. And the next thing you know, I'm standing in front of the refrigerator and half that pie's gone. It's crazy.
Well, and it uses the same neurotransmitters as drugs.
Okay, I was an addict.
Yeah, it truly is. It's a problem, and it's just a legal thing to do. So people don't realize, but it can be a problem because you want more when you're having sugar.
My mom makes this pound cake for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
And the other day, I hope my wife doesn't listen to this podcast. She goes, "Where'd all the pound cake go?" And I was like, I don't know. I think the kids. I think watching that Lulu, she probably ate some of that pound cake. It certainly wasn't. I had a piece or two, but it probably was mostly me.
Yeah.
Just because you can't.
Without even realizing it. You're just like, oh.
Yeah.
And doing those things, it is important. It's hard to do, but once you do it, you feel better, right? I mean, you feel like a new person.
Oh,
and I call it shopping in your closet. That's one of the biggest goals people have. I'm like, let's go shopping in your closet.
Yeah, I like that.
If you had told me that I did not have to eat a cake that came into the newsroom, I'm like,
Wait, that's possible?
Go figure, because we always get all these
Of
sweets
course,
and everything
it's
delivered,
hard.
and it's like, oh my gosh, everybody's got a plate, and you go back, and at one point I just want the icing, because that's where all the sugar is. I'm like, just give it to me. But now I don't even think twice about it. I don't crave it. It
Right.
doesn't do anything.
It really,
for me.
I mean, that's why when I say clean eating, it sounds so, but it's true, because
Yeah.
once you do that, you get your cravings under control, your metabolism kicks in, and your body composition changes. And I want to touch on the point you made about the scale, because I
Yes.
think that's another pointer when you say another pointer for New Year's.
Yes.
Obviously, don't ignore it if you're pounding food. And
Why are you looking at me?
no, that you're sorry.
Why'd she look
You're
over
pounding
it?
food.
Hey,
Matt.
Tubby. I don't know why. I keep
It's an intervention.
I just feel
You
like
look great.
all
You look
of your sentences should end in Tubby. I don't know why. Go ahead.
But the scale, though, that's one thing. That's a question I ask people. I'm like, are you obsessed with the scale? Some are, some aren't. But if you're following something and you're really doing something that's going to generate results with your body, don't obsess about the scale, because a couple things happen. First of all, you can lose inches and you can lose body fat all while your weight stays the same. I've had people lose 2 pounds and 10 inches. So if they were only looking at the scale, they would be frustrated and give up. And that's mostly what people do, is they give up.
Yeah.
But if you stay the course, that's the most important part. The other thing, kind of funny thing with the scale is also this. So we use this scale to reward ourselves or sabotage ourselves. So we get on the scale and we're really excited that we lost weight. So I'm like, yeah, I can go have
I'm
that.
going to go eat a piece of pie.
Exactly. That's what we do, right?
And
I'm
guess
gonna
what's
reward-
coming back?
Right. So we do that. Or we get on the scale and I'm like, oh, I gained weight or I haven't lost any weight.
Yeah.
I'm going to go eat that pie.
Yeah.
Either way, you end up eating the pie.
You are just sabotaging yourself either way. So that's why I tell people, don't just focus on the scale. Don't do it every single day, but look at your body composition, like you're
Yeah.
doing. Like, oh, your clothes fit better, and how you feel, and your energy, and your sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, it really goes deeper than just body fat and looking great. It's also feeling better.
I have more clarity too. Like I couldn't have a functioning conversation before coffee when I was on the sugar. And now it's like sometimes I forget to have it and it's like, wow, okay.
am I?
Yeah. So it really does make a huge difference.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, overall wellness. It's looking at everything. It's not just strength training. It's not just eating healthy. It's not just it's your nutrients, it's your sleep, it's your energy, and
Yeah.
you really can get your life back. And a lot of people give up and they just shrug their shoulders, say, "Oh, I'm just getting older. This look
Yeah.
like my aunt, whatever." And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just genetic.
Just got to deal with it.
Yeah,
But you don't have to.
Yeah,
There's
you don't.
answers and there's ways for people to change their life.
I want to know. Okay, last question for me. What is your favorite exercise? One exercise. You're on a deserted island. This is the one thing you can do every day. What are you gonna pick?
Well, I love leg press.
Leg press.
Yes,
I
I
did
love the
that
leg
today.
press.
Leg day.
Yes, I would have to say like something with legs. Definitely our leg press that we have. I mean, that probably wouldn't
'cause
be on
that's-
the island.
Yeah.
But
But it's also
You could have
working
some
your
coconuts
glutes.
on your back.
See, that's what it is. You're
Well-
working. I know why.
yeah, so the glutes are your largest muscle. So it's
They're not my largest muscle. I can tell you for a fact, my glutes are not my largest muscle.
Also, I will confirm.
Oh my goodness.
It is all bone right now that I'm sitting on. Go ahead.
No, but it being the largest muscle for most
people.
it stimulates the metabolism, and it also stimulates all your other muscles. So it's one of the most important things that you can do.
I'm doing this all wrong.
Yeah. Well, you know what's kind of funny is like men in general, a lot of them focus on upper body.
Yeah.
And chicks are like, I'm not going to do my legs. But what they don't understand is if they're actually doing their legs and their glutes, they're actually going to stimulate their other muscles as well.
Yeah, testosterone production. That is the whole. I didn't do leg day for years, and then I read about how you get more testosterone production from doing leg day.
And now,
'cause
boom, leg day for
So
you.
fine, I'll do this stupid leg day.
And it's true, most men can't stand it, but that's something I learned in this journey. It's like really important for. So I would say leg press. What about you? What would you guys do for your
Oh, bench press. I love the
bench press?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the only thing I'm good at. Ginger?
I don't have an answer. I'm sorry. I don't like any of it.
That's why
I'm
you
not
love
sa-
our workout. It's 20 minutes.
I'm not
In and
saying
out,
like.
done.
Yes.
Most important exercise.
The most.
You don't dodge the question.
Oh gosh, I'm with her though because I know.
No, you can't pick the same thing as her either.
Well,
Hip lady,
okay,
hip lady.
hip
She's
lady, deadlifts. I would do
Oh,
deadlifts.
I like it.
Yeah, I think
like
I would
that.
do deadlifts.
Okay.
So, but anyway, the reason I don't like working out, I really don't. I like
Most
being
people don't.
active, but When I work with Missy, it's 20 minutes. I'm in and out. We do every exercise until your muscle fatigues, which is around 2.5, 3 minutes for me, I think. But when she first
She's
told me
super
about
strong,
it,
as you know.
when she was telling me, I'm like, that's not going to work. That's going to be boring. I leave every time after a session and I am trembling and I have to sit in my car for a couple of minutes before I take off because my legs just
You're doing the shake.
yeah.
That's good.
But
we
it
get
really-
right to it. Yeah, we get right to it.
there's no like, hey, how you doing? How was your? It's like, boom, here's your first one set, and you just
That must
keep
be
moving.
difficult because she's a talker.
Well, it's time. Like people appreciate it because it's time. Like everybody's busy,
Yeah.
and a lot of times they don't want to. They don't like working out, or you just don't have time to work out. So they're in, they're out, they're done. But it's effective and efficient. So it's fascinating, and it's also really great for your hip.
all right. She's the hip lady.
I know. I am working on strengthening that, but and it's been a real journey for me, and it's just been so eye-opening. So I just wanted you to share some of that knowledge with other people. And I remember telling you that I shared with my sister, like how I'm eating differently and different things like that. And just by sharing that information with her, she's lost 40-something pounds.
And that's exactly what
She's
it's
not
about.
even hitting a gym.
Yeah.
She's just cleaner eating.
Yep, and that's why it makes me so happy because it really, when I started off saying like it makes my heart happy to help people.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. I mean, if you give somebody something that works, I mean that's changed your life. It's changing your sister's life, and just passing it on.
How can you
So,
keep that to yourself?
Yeah, you can, and that's awesome. I know you said that she's just like feeling great, and
Oh my gosh, she's got so much energy. She said her joints don't ache as much as they used to because she's also given up the sugar. I mean, it's just been a complete journey, and I love telling as many people about it as possible. So I just wanted to have you on so you could share that with people because I
You were
really
great.
feel
Yes.
like, just knowledge is power. And, if you have the knowledge, then share it. And it's that much more powerful.
yeah, and
I
most
think.
people don't know. They're just
Yeah,
overwhelmed, and so it's just
exactly,
finding what works.
Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. I would like to end by just saying one thing. Thanksgiving is a meal, not a month, Tubby.
So fun.
You are the worst.
I know, I can't help it.
Now do you see what I mean?
I
Now
love
do you
it.
see why I have
I
to
love
come and work
it.
out?
Hey, I love it. I love it.
Missy, you rock. Thank you so much. Ginger Gadsden. My name's Matt Austin. We got Phil running the director chair.
Tiffany left us, but she
Tiffany
was
Brown.
there. Yeah.
All right. Have a great one. We'll be here next week.